A wild Hans Niemann appears in the Wiesenhaus Freestyle Chess Tournament. It's some kind of World Chess Championship thingy-majiggy. This is the first event here, played in Germany, and Niemann with the jacket off straight away. Who's his opponent? Yes, it's Magnus Mindgameson. Wait till you see what's to come. First, he uses the hand as a kind of pretend oxygen mask. Flow that oxygen into the brain, help it expand, and Niemann's got a magic box. Slippers? No, it's a headset. He wants to defend those ears, and look at him here, Mr. Serious. There comes the handshake. He's playing Mr. Fumbles, and jacket off from the world number one himself. Absolute mind games galore here. We love to see it, and even Magnus still doesn't move. He tickles the pieces. Look at him go there. How many tickles does it take to make a night octopus laugh? That's 10 tickles. You're welcome. I'm here all night. Magnus deciding what to do, and he responds with pawn to c-ship. Solid and steady. Niemann now blasts off with the second rook pawn. Now the pieces are a mess, right? It's not my favourite variation of chess, I'll be honest, right? I prefer the normal stuff, but it's still good fun. And we're going to see some drama, as always. It's Magnus' hands. Now we see a pawn sacrifice from Magnus, already move 3, and it's really cool stuff. Because if Niemann takes here, which he didn't do, then you take here, and the lines just get so wild. You can take and hit a rook, and it moves. And then apparently taking here is best, not taking a free knight. Sorry, this is the best move to cover the pawn. Then you have a choice. This is playable. Taking rook is better. It's some craziness. Apparently white's a bit better. Hans doesn't do it. He just develops a knight, covers this pawn here. Now we see takes, restoring the material, and bang, a couple of rooks go into the blender. Pawn hit on c4, defended. We're just kind of taking it move by move here. What's the strategy for each side? No clue. Get your bits out, usually a good policy. And this knight's threatening to go the old 1, 2, bang, bang, jump, and even checkmate. That's a smothered king right now. Nasty. So that's why Magnus goes here. Stinky on the edge, but covers a square. f4 now from Niemann. He roars like a mighty chess lion. Opens his bishop. Bishop f7 from Magnus. Sets up a battery here. And a mistake. Niemann doesn't really spot the idea properly. Carries on developing. Looks so natural. Goes for the pawn. But Magnus fights back with the excellent best move. Pawn b5. And you want to take that pawn. Start ripping things open. But then black's got this, this, this. This is awful. Can't play like this. So, no takes. Niemann could have a look at knight a5. Queen h3 a move. But this was played. Covering here. Bit passive though. Magnus now takes. Pawn recaptures. And bishop takes. Magnus Carlsen. Clean pawn to the good. And it's a healthy pawn. Not that much counterplay for white. This bishop now kicked back. Bishop takes on a7. Yes, it restores the material, but it's Magnus with the initiative here. White with the slightly more exposed king. You could take straight away here. Strongest move. And then follow up with some queen g7 stuff. But missed. This was played. Goes for similar ideas. This bishop now backs up and hits the knight. And it encourages Magnus to play the best move in the position, which he does. Bishop takes on c3. And after rook takes, you win a clean pawn. Lovely. And the knight is not getting trapped. You know, if you try rook c2, well then the bishop's crashing through on b3. And you can take, but queen takes, and black's doing great. So we see in the game, rook d3. Holding the b3 pawn a couple times still, and also attacking the black king, creating these ideas. There's a pin. So we see knight b5 from Magnus. He opens the rook to defend the pawn, activates this guy. Now we see king e1 running away there. Magnus hops in with the knight anyway. Best apparently was d6. Not that that's an immediate threat because there's a pin, but okay. This was what was played. The time's really ticking down now. Niemann 3 minutes ahead. And after Queen H3 on the board, Magnus has a winning idea. But it's very far from obvious. This knight is attacked twice. Well, by 2 pieces, let's say. So you're threatening to win 2 minor pieces for a rook. Usually good. But black, amazingly, can ignore it and play the move Rook A8. And if white executes on this threat, then there's check, king goes, and this queen now invades with a decisive attack. Something like this. You win back your piece, and more carnage to follow, as you can imagine here. Even a piece ahead now. So, Rook A8 was just the killer. Other lines there, but that's the general gist of it. But Magnus misses the idea. Knight's attacked, so he saves it. Really natural move, but Niemann can now fight back. Knight F4 is a big threat. Don't go E3 to defend the pawn. Then the bishop no longer defends G1, and the queen can invade with check. So we saw Rook G3 played to stop this invasion idea. Queen H8 though, and there's new problems down the long diagonal. Bishop takes on D5. Good move. That one was a real nightmare. Now we see takes back. Bishop B6 check. Magnus gets on the running shoes. More checks. Looks really nasty. King F8's not actually precise here. Magnus finds the best move. Bishop F7. And he hits the queen. Drops a pawn, but gains time. Gains initiative. His best move, checking on A1. But his time's now running out. He's not finding the best moves. He plays Knight D6. And it allows Niemann to now play Queen E5. Yay, go Hans, he's our man. You can hear his fangirls screaming away there because he's levelled the game, levelled the bar. Would you look at them there? 1, 2, 3, 4. They follow him everywhere he goes, desperate to get a glimpse of the Niemannator. In Moke we trust. And Magnus hasn't got anything better than to take. Normally he's loving it. Queen's off the board. What are you playing at? But here, it's not so hot. Because you had an attack going. The white king was exposed. But Niemann's now just squashed the flames a little bit. Knight takes on E4. Pawn recaptures, hits the B3 pawn, and before you can say, sorry Magnus, are we keeping you up there? Is it a bit boring? Niemann gains space. Rook C2 invading. Bishop C5 now cements the pawn. Both players with opposite coloured bishops, typically drawish. Is that how this one's going to play out? Well, the rooks are activating. King therefore running. Both players activate the kings. Huge symmetry on the E file there. We see bishop G4 going for this tender pawn, but it drops this one since you left the defence. This is how Hans plays. This is the game here. Bishop bounces around, attacked, into C6, rook A6, rook B3. Magnus staying firmly behind this dangerous B pawn. Don't want to let that one get running. Now we see rook b6, king f7 on the board, a few more rook moves, and after the king shuffles, Magnus heads back to stop b5, and Niemann now offers a repetition, which Magnus does indeed take. What do we say in this position? Only this. The t-shirt says it all. The chess speaks for itself. It always has. It always will. If you want one of these shirts, then do check out the merch shop, right? Yes, it's not my catchphrase, but I couldn't find this shirt anywhere else. So if you want to wear it down the chess club or to a chess tournament, it doesn't really get much better than this. Have a look over at the merch store, pick yourself one up. Obviously, it also supports the channel as well, which is hugely appreciated. Hope you enjoyed this one. Bit of a draw, but we've got to bring a Magnus Hans Niemann clash, of course. Thanks a lot for watching. Have a look at the video on screen for some more epic chess, and I hope to see you soon. Cheers.